Hey, what's up, folks? Uh, I don't know if you guys know this. You probably don't. I haven't shared it before, but I used to be like extremely camera shy and, against public speaking. It wasn't until, you know, probably college, because in high school we had to do like the volunteer presentations, and I would always go first just to get it out of the way, and it helped me um, get over that particular hump a lot. And then, as I progressed, my actually it started really when I was younger too. My mom would put me on the phone to order the food and stuff when we were ordering out. So like she got me used to kind of communicating in, I guess, kind of awkward situations. It was awkward for me at that time, but it was nice to build those communication skills. So then, you know, as I progressed through high school, like I said, I started to enjoy I guess, the anxiety behind, doing that class presentation. But, at the same time, like, I didn't like it. I didn't like all the focus being on me. I didn't like, the potential for me making mistakes and having people laugh at me. But what, again, I did do was volunteer to go first, uh, took it in stride, was down to laugh at myself. So that helped make things easier. So one of the first jobs that I had was actually working at a call center. And like this was super fun for me. It helped build like communication and negotiating skills. Um, it got me through, I guess, a lot of kind of insecurity as far as talking to people fluently. And then also, expanding my vocabulary. It also helped me build upon, you know, skills that I'm using currently right now as well. Um, I did, let's see, I did Shop NBC, I did AT&T wireless. I was on that when the iPhone came out. And like we had a great time. The job was really flexible as far as attendance, and like it was they had a lot of overtime pickup. So like I worked diligently as hard as I could. I ended up making it into the escalation team at some point. And again, like what that did was help me separate the emotion from what the job entailed. One thing that I kind of fell off on doing that when I was outside of work, I shut that off, which I shouldn't have. It's now that I'm more aware, like I have that running 24/7 for myself, and it proves helpful in all of my relationships because people are gonna come at you sideways, and as long as you separate the emotion and just proceed accordingly, um, you're gonna do what's best for yourself. You don't have to take everything seriously. um, but it's unfortunate some of the people closest to you are gonna try and take some weird shots at you. So just be ready and prepared for that. And again, if you can separate that emotion, um, and just proceed accordingly, it'll be great. But anyway, back to the call center work. So like we would we would mess with each other in like weird different ways. We would try and knock each other's heads off in the middle of them taking calls. One of the funnest things that we could do, because we got approval from it, they're like, if you carry the accent through the course of the entire call, we don't know any differently. And like sometimes it will pop up on your Q&A when you're you're trying to use your best British or like Australian accent. Like it was a good time. And like that job ended up showing me that I had some leadership skills as well, because like I said, I picked up a bunch of time I worked my way through the escalations team, and then eventually, like, I ended up working my way to lead. I had like 15 to 20 agents under my wing, and like I got all the misfits too because I was a misfit, so like I knew how they operated, and it kind of worked out. By the time that I like got this job though, it was so weird. Like I had three level like step 3 infractions against myself, so like I was on the way to being fired. But again, my skill set was so advantageous that they put me in a candidacy for a job that I wasn't technically qualified for, but I was actually overqualified for. Um, so that was like a real eye-opening experience too. Like I ended up getting my team together, all my little misfits, and like because I had similar experience with them, like I taught them how to work the rules, um, you know, because understanding how the policies were would dictate kind of what you were capable of doing. So like I one day I showed up to work and like I didn't want to be there. It was such a nice day outside. We worked in a like freezing cold building. I got there. I told the attendance lady, I was like, "You need to mark me down as absent because like I'm gonna go." She's like, "But you're here," and I'm like, "But only for a moment." And like I ended up leaving, you know, because like I was young. I was minus a lot of responsibility at that time, so like I took advantage of it. um but yeah, like it was cool. So like I got to teach my people how the system worked, how to make the system work for them. And then like by the time we it took like maybe 3 to 5 months, but my team had carried me to the number one team on the floor. I ended up losing that job because I was kind of into some weird stuff on the side, and like I did a no call, no show like a dummy. But yeah, that was still like one of the best experiences that I had working a job in my youth. I loved it. I was at that place for like a couple years, and I built, gained, and developed a valuable pool of skill sets that helped me progress throughout that my life. And it kind of all started with my mom setting me up on those ordering phone calls, when I was younger. So like that's a little bit about me and stuff that I gone through. I'll be back to check in with you guys. Like it's nice to have this experience. Again, I'm doing it for a personal reason. You've heard me speak about my little ones. It's kind of like a gift to leave for them. But I'm glad that whoever is able to gain anything from anything that I put out, that's a win win situation. So, like, I appreciate everybody for tuning in. If you pull anything from what I'm putting out, please make it to the best use that you can. And letting me, I appreciate you letting me know that it was useful to you, because again, it's going to be useful to the littles later. So again, appreciate all the support. Thanks for tuning in and checking in with your boy. And like, I look forward to building on the relationship throughout the journey.